They called you the weakest. They laughed. They pointed fingers and whispered when you passed by. They never saw the battle you were fighting on the inside. The emptiness. The scars you carried long before anyone noticed you existed. You were never chosen. Not the favorite. Not the star. You were born ordinary in a world that worships the extraordinary. But here's the truth no one told you. You don't need to be chosen. You choose yourself. Let them mock you. Let them doubt you. Let them write you off as useless, broken, a failure. Because the most dangerous thing in the world is the person who has nothing left to lose and still refuses to give up. They gave you a nickname, the weakest, but they didn't understand. Strength isn't always loud. It's not always flashy. Sometimes strength is silent. It's about choosing to stand when everything inside you's begging to quit. You felt that, didn't you? You tried and failed, then tried again and failed again, and again, until you even started believing what they said. Maybe you weren't meant to win. Maybe this world was built for someone else. You hated yourself for being weak, for being left behind, for always playing catch-up in a game where the rules were written against you. You told yourself, I can't. But somewhere deep inside, a whisper answered, then become someone who can. They say people don't change, that destiny is written in stone, that the poor stay poor, the weak stay weak, that failure is final. But what if they're wrong? What if failure is not the end, but the beginning of something no one saw coming? You don't have to be the fastest. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't even have to be the strongest. You just have to refuse to quit, because consistency beats talent. Discipline crushes natural ability, and pain builds something they'll never understand. Resilience. You want to change. I know. You're tired of running, tired of hiding behind fake smiles and hollow victories. You want to wake up and finally feel proud of who you are. But that change won't happen in one night. It happens in 1,000 invisible battles, fought in silence, fought alone. That's how warriors are made. You hate your reflection, but instead of smashing the mirror, forge the image you want to become. You're not broken. You're becoming. Everyone talks about talent. They forget that fire is made from pressure. Diamonds are born in darkness, and swords are forged in flame. That's what you are. Not a failure, not a mistake. You are a weapon in the making. And every day, every hardship, every insult, it's all part of your shaping. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. Let them leave. Because one day, they'll see what they walked away from. And you'll become someone they can no longer ignore. You weren't born with magic. So what? Make your magic. You weren't born with strength? Earn it. You weren't born lucky? Forge your fate with bloody hands and sleepless nights. Because here's the truth. Even if you're not gifted, even if you're behind, even if life has kicked you more times than you can count, you still have a say. You still have a choice. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the words they threw at you like daggers. You are the one who survived all of that. And you're still standing. Now ask yourself, what? You're still here. Because something inside you refuses to die. A small, burning ember buried under pain and shame. That ember is your will. That ember is what makes gods tremble. Because a human being, with nothing but relentless willpower, can become unstoppable. They said, you have no potential, but you kept going. They said, you'll never make it, but you kept grinding. They said, you're wasting your time. But time means nothing. When your mission is survival, you want to be great? You want to rise? Then embrace the grind. While they sleep, train. While they party, study. While they doubt, believe. You don't owe the world an explanation, only results. Don't chase perfection. Chase progress. 1% better every day is enough. Small wins. Silent victories. That's how revolutions begin, not with explosions, but with whispers. And when you fall, because you will, get back up. Crawl if you must. Cry if you have to. But never stop moving. Never surrender to weakness. Don't wait for someone to save you. Be your savior. Don't pray for easy. Train hard. Don't wish for change. Become the change. People will disappoint you. They'll betray you, lie to you, abandon you. Let them. Because every time they walk away, you become more powerful alone. You want revenge? Then rise. Rise until your silence is louder than their screams. Until your presence demands respect. Until your results speak for themselves. You're not soft for feeling pain. You're human. But you're dangerous. When you choose to fight through it, you're not born brave. You become brave. One decision at a time. One failure at a time. One I won't give up at a time. What if you're not the villain? What if you're not the hero? What if you're the storm? If the world won't give you a path, carve your own. If they slam the door in your face, build your own house. If no one believes in you, become someone worth believing in. Do you think this journey is about becoming someone else? It's not. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. The real you. The unbreakable version of you. The one forged through suffering. People fear failure. You eat it for breakfast. You fall 7 times, rise 8. That's your power. And when you finally rise, when you reach the top, don't become arrogant. Stay hungry. Stay humble. And remember the pain that made you. In this world, you don't need magic. You don't need superpowers. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need the will to fight. And that makes you more powerful than they ever imagined. So stand tall. Fight back. Reclaim your story. From this moment on, you are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are the storm. And nothing will stop you now. You weren't supposed to win, but you will. You weren't supposed to survive, but you did. You weren't supposed to rise, but now, you are rising. And they will never forget your name. You weren't built in the spotlight. You were built in the dark, in the quiet, in the cold, in moments no one else will ever see. They saw the fall but not the climb. They saw the win but never the thousands of days that led to it. And that's okay. Let them see only the end. Let them guess how you did it. Let them wonder. You don't owe them your story. You owe yourself the victory. There's a voice inside you. You've heard it before. Late at night, when everything is silent, when even the world forgets you, it whispers, you are not done. Even when your body screams to quit, even when your hands shake, even when your eyes fill with tears, that voice doesn't stop. That's your fire. That's your future self refusing to die in the ashes of your present. You were never weak. You were just early in your evolution. You didn't fail. You were just learning the rules of a game designed to break you. But you didn't break. You bent. You burned. But you stayed. You stayed when they walked away. You stayed when your hope shattered. You stayed when your knees buckled under the weight of it all. And that is the reason you'll win. They say the strong don't cry. They're wrong. The strong cry. The strong scream. The strong fall face first in the dirt, but they don't stay down. The weak wear masks. The strong reveal scars. So show yours. Not with shame, but with pride. Each one is proof. You bled. You fought. And you're still here. You don't need a crown. You don't need applause. You need purpose. And pain will lead you to it. Because once you've been shattered, once you've had everything stripped away, once you've stood naked before your broken soul, you start building from the truth. And truth is where power begins. You weren't unlucky. You were tested. And only the worthy are tested. No one throws stones at a dull blade. They only strike what threatens them. And you threaten every system that told you to stay weak. You don't need to fight everyone. Just the old version of you. The one who doubted. The one who hesitated. The one who believed them when they said, you'll never make it. Kill that version. Bury it. And walk forward. The old you was built for survival. The new you is built for domination. This is not about revenge. This is about evolution. You're not here to prove them wrong. You're here to prove yourself right. Pain was your teacher. Loneliness was your classroom. And failure was your final exam. But you passed. You passed because you stayed. You kept breathing. You kept crawling. You kept showing up. When every part of you screamed to disappear. That's the rarest thing in this world. And that's why you will be unstoppable. They'll never understand. They won't know what it costs you. The nights you couldn't sleep. The days you walked with no food, no hope, no plan, just stubbornness. The moments when quitting looked easier than breathing. They'll never see it. But you will always know. You weren't lazy. You were hurting. You weren't weak. You were carrying too much alone. And now that you know the truth, don't you dare betray yourself again. You've cried enough. You've bled enough. Now rise. Not as a hero. Not as a legend. But as the one who kept going when every reason said to stop. And let them say whatever they want. They don't know what it's like to train with broken bones, to smile while your world is collapsing, to hold the hand of hope when everyone else let go. Discipline will save you when motivation disappears. Habits will carry you when your soul is numb. And silence will become your best friend. Learn to walk alone, not because you hate the world, but because you don't need it to validate you anymore. You are not for everyone. You are not meant to fit in. You are not here to blend into the background. You are here to stand out, not by being loud, but by being undeniable. Undeniable in your grind. Undeniable in your growth. Undeniable in your ability to rise. Again, and again, and again. There is no glory without scars. There is no strength without suffering. There is no greatness without grief. And yes, it hurts, but the pain is the price. And you've already paid too much to stop now. This world is cruel. It will break you if you let it, but it can also shape you into something terrifyingly strong. You decide which path it take. You decide whether the darkness destroys you or becomes your forge. Your enemies are not your enemies. Your fear is. Your excuses are. Your need for approval is. Kill those, bury those, and then rise, cold, clean, and clear. Your strength was never magic. It was a choice. You chose to keep going. You chose the hard path. You chose suffering over comfort. That is a strength. That is power. And no one can ever take that from you. So walk forward now. Not fast. Not perfect. But forward. Breathe. Move. Push. Repeat. Let the world watch. Let them stare in silence. Because soon, they won't recognize you. You will become everything they said you couldn't. Everything they laughed at. Everything they tried to stop. And when you stand at the top, don't gloat. Just smile. Because the climb made you someone they can never bring down again. There will come a moment when your body is shaking, your vision's blurred, your breath is heavy, and your heart whispers, "We can't go on." That's when most people stop. But not you. Because you've been here before. You've heard the whispers. And you've learned how to answer them. Watch me. Every day you wake up with a choice. Stay who you are, or fight for who you could become. The first choice is easy, comfortable, safe. But the second one? It demands everything. Your time, your mind, your emotions, your soul. It's the kind of battle that no one claps for. The kind of war you fight inside your chest, when no one is watching. But that's where greatness is born. People think greatness is loud. It's not. It's lonely. It's quiet. It's filled with doubt, darkness, and discipline. It's hundreds of hours of training when you're exhausted. Thousands of reps when no one is cheering. Saying no to pleasure so you can say yes to purpose. You will outwork them, outlast them, outgrow them. And when you do, you won't even care that they doubted you. You'll be too focused on the next mountain. Because real warriors aren't satisfied with one victory. They fight to become better than they were yesterday. Every day. You don't need to be understood. You need to be unshakable. Because the world will test you. Not once, not twice, again and again. It will throw storms at you. Betrayals, losses, failures. It will whisper, maybe you're not meant for this. But that's when you speak back with actions, with repetition, with silence, with steel in your spine. And you walk forward anyway. Rebirth doesn't look beautiful. It looks like pain, isolation, obsession. It looks like letting go of people who once felt like home. It looks like rewriting every belief you were raised on. It looks like breaking your own identity, just to rebuild it from the ashes. And no one warns you how much it will hurt. But you do it anyway, because the version of you you're chasing, it is worth every ounce of suffering. There will be voices, not just from the outside but from within. The voice of fear, the voice of doubt. The voice sounds like someone who gave up years ago. You have to kill that voice, every single day. You are not a product of your environment. You are a product of your decisions. You are not a victim of your past. You are a weapon sharpened by it. You are not broken. You are reforging. Most people avoid pressure. They want the path of least resistance. But you lean into it. Because pressure builds power. Pressure sharpens focus. Pressure creates leaders. You have something that can't be taught. Relentless intent. The kind of drive that doesn't fade with failure. The kind of fire that doesn't go out when you're alone. You were built for more. You've always known that. Even when you couldn't prove it. Even when you had nothing. That knowing, that gut feeling that you're not like the rest. That was the truth calling you forward. So now ask yourself, will you honor it? Will you stop dimming your light to make others comfortable? Will you rise? Not to be better than them, but to be better than you were yesterday? The greatest enemy you'll ever face is comfort. It whispers, you've done enough. Take a break. You deserve to relax. But you weren't made for easy. You were made to conquer, to create, to lead, to endure, to become more than what you were yesterday. You want to be a king? Then act like one. Not with ego, not with titles, but with unshakable consistency. Show up every day, whether you feel like it or not. Because the ones who win long-term, they are the ones who don't care how they feel. They just get it done. You've sacrificed too much to give up now. You've outgrown the old you. The version of you that wanted to be liked, that craved validation, that needed permission. That version is dead. Now stand in your power, walk in your truth, and build the legacy they said was impossible. Not for them, for you. Because you owe it to the version of you that never had a voice. Those who suffered in silence. They waited for someone to save them. Be that savior. You want to change your life? Then change your habits. Change your circle. Change your standards. Stop waiting for a moment. Create the moment. Right now. People won't understand your grind. They're not supposed to. You're not on the same path. You're not built for average. You're not wired for mediocrity. You are the 1%. Not because you were born different, but because you refuse to stay the same. Let your future self be proud of your present pain. Let your discipline today be the freedom you live with tomorrow. Let your story be the one that kids listen to in 20 years. When they say, if they could do it, maybe I can too. You are not meant to live small. You are not meant to be remembered for silence. You are meant to become something so rare, so focused, so disciplined, that your very presence forces the room to rise. So don't just rise for revenge. Rise for redemption. For the version of you that never had a chance. For the ones who are still suffering in silence. For the kid who didn't make it. For the dreamers who were told to quit. Rise for them. And never look back. You made it through the storm. But this is where it gets real. See, becoming strong is one thing. But staying strong, that's the real test. Staying focused when comfort returns. Staying disciplined when you finally taste success. Because power doesn't corrupt. Weakness wearing the mask of power, that's what destroys people. So now that you're rising, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget the nights you cried alone. Don't forget the pain you carried in silence. Don't forget how it felt to be called nothing. Because those memories, those scars, will be the foundation of your legacy. You are not done. This is not the finish line. This is the launch pad. Now you don't just fight for survival. You fight for impact. Because the truth is, it was never just about you. It was about everyone watching. Everyone struggling. Everyone who has never had a voice. Everyone who was told to sit down, shut up, and accept realistic goals. But you spit in the face of realism. You defied logic. You disobeyed fate. You broke the rules meant to chain you. And now, you build new rules. Not with words, with actions. You were never meant to follow. You were built to lead. And real leaders don't command with fear. They are inspired with fire. So what now? Now, you protect your peace. You guard your mind. You watch your circle. You remove the parasites. You keep your energy clean, your mission sharp, and your soul untouchable. Because when you've suffered that much to become this version of you, you don't let just anyone near your light. You used to crave approval. Now you crave alignment. You used to chase applause. Now you chase peace. You used to want the world to see you. Now you're okay if no one notices, as long as you know who you are. That's real power. When you don't need noise to feel important. When you don't need validation to feel valuable. When the silence doesn't scare you anymore. It centers you. You are now the storm they once feared. But don't become bitter. Don't become arrogant. Don't become the villain in your own story. Because the real prize was never the trophy. Never the money. Never the recognition. It was the rebirth. The transformation. The discipline. The fact that you became someone you never thought you could be. That's the win. That's the moment. When you finally look in the mirror and say, I love who I've become. That's when the war ends. Because legacy isn't about fame. It's about effect. Legacy is how many people you woke up just by existing. How many lives have you inspired just by surviving? How many kids you gave hope to, not because you were perfect, but because you were real. You showed them it's okay to bleed. It's okay to fall. It's okay to cry. As long as you rise again, you are now someone's blueprint. Someone's evidence that it's possible. That from nothing, something incredible can be built. That from brokenness, a masterpiece can rise. So keep going. But now walk with purpose. Speak with intention. Move like a king, not of others but of yourself. Rule your mind. Govern your actions. Protect your future. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more people like you. People who choose growth over comfort. Discipline over chaos. Healing over blame. So here's the final truth. You will be tested again. You will lose again. You will bleed again. But now, you won't break. You've tasted failure. You've made peace with pain. You've buried your past. You've chosen your path. And now you walk it as a warrior, as a builder, as a king. When they ask what your power is, tell them, I did not quit. When they ask what your gift is, say, my will. And when they ask how you made it, tell them, I forged myself in fire. Because your name is no longer weak. Your name is no longer in doubt. Your name is no longer not enough. Your name is, I survived. I rose. I conquered. And you will never be the same again. This is your time now. This is your world to shape. Your legacy to carve. Your soul to protect. Your story to own. Go live with it.